保护我们的生态环境。
In the eco project, we have many volunteers. Now, one particular scientist, from the Canadian side, and his name is Dr. Muhammad Kamaluddin. Now, Muhammad came from Bangladesh, and for 15 years, he was a professor at the University of Bangladesh and also the director of the Institute for Ecology. He had a lot of experience as a scientist on forests and so on, and we needed some expert on raising seedlings.
Muhammad seems to have a, gold touch, everything that, he wants to work. And the good thing is he's very practical. You can go and tell people, you use this fancy equipment or whatever, right? But we are at the place where you don't have that luxury. Therefore, you want to have things that are readily available for the people.
I remember, asking about what is still the most difficult thing to propagate, the mulberries in Hejing, and he said seedlings. So I turned to Muhammad. I said, Muhammad, do you think there's a better way of raising seedlings rather than, grafting? He says, possibly. He says, actually, he says, I'm pretty confident. So we gave him, I think, 6 different mulberry species that are known to be difficult to propagate. And we gave him 10 species of bamboos. And we gave him walnut. And within 3 weeks, he was successful in all the 10 species of bamboo. According to the textbook, and also the Yunnan Academy Forestry, one professor tried 20 years to root a walnut cutting and could not succeed. Muhammad did it in less than 4 weeks. They couldn't believe it. So he wanted to share that with the Chinese scientists and with the farmers eventually through the extension services. So we decided that February 28th, 2005 would be the day to meet again in Yunnan. That night, we stayed in a hotel in Yangtze and at early night. And so next morning, we had a breakfast about 8, and then the tractor came to pick us up. So we were riding this 9-passenger van. I was sitting in the front row wearing my seatbelt, driver, wearing the seatbelt. Johnson Young on the second row, behind the driver, no seatbelt. And then Muhammad, we asked, I want to come to the second row. Oh, I like to stretch out. So he stayed on the third row. And no seatbelt, but he was happy. And all of a sudden, just about that time, we were crossing a railroad crossing. And the Johnson Young, I think he yelled out, I think in English or in Cantonese, Larry, there's a train coming. I said, what? So I quickly turned back and I said, holy smoke, there was a train racing toward us about maybe 20 feet away. When I saw the train coming towards the car, I just drew a total blank. And then in probably milliseconds, I saw this is the end of everybody. So when the car stopped, I found myself still alive. And I yelled out, is everybody okay? No voice, no sound. I said, how's everybody? Finally made a sound. And the driver said, oh, yeah, I'm okay. And I said, Johnson, he said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, Muhammad. There's no response. was difficult, but I think he died for a very, very worthwhile cause, even though way too early, way untimely, and the things he could have contributed, to the poor and to China and to many, even different countries, would be immeasurable, and just a stupid, train accident that took away all this hope, all these wonderful possibilities. That was the sad part. Losing Muhammad was very difficult, so we set up a small memorial garden in Kunming, where he worked, the year before, and every time, we go to Kunming, we'll pay respect. We are very efficient operation, and we have now a very strong team to help us to do what we think we need to do. We have now a total of 12 projects. Of these, 4 just started, and most likely they will run 4 or 5 years, if not longer. It started out as a personal dedication to Sam's dream. Fortunately, it created some resonance, and therefore we were able to receive more donated funds, therefore enabling ECO to start many more projects than originally planned.
首先呢，对赵楚安教授对这种义举呢，还是非常非常感谢。因为我们研究所呢是做研究的，主要是在赵先生的这种精神的感召下来去做这件事儿。那么我们院里边也非常支持。那么这个项目实施那么多年来呢，取得了非常好的效果。包括中国林科院带进去的资金，还有国家林业局带进去的资金，已经超过上千万的资金在整个那个在那边在做。
All done? Very good. So thank you very much. Thank you.
The signing ceremony was for 2 projects. One for the sandstorming curtailment along the Nankou area, and the second project was on the experimental nursery donated by the Wang and the Chao family. The involvement here, with the ECO, actually has I think a very good sentimental reason, for me to be here, because this is actually a project that, my family, the Wang family, and my wife's family, the Chao family, jointly donated the funds. And we want to do this was because my wife's parents, they were born in Beijing in the, I think, early 1900s, and grew up in Beijing and finished university, everything else in Beijing. So my wife and my brother-in-law, we felt that by having this little contribution and working with trees and with greens and with the ecology, it is one way to commemorate their memory and our dedication of what they have done to help us with the ability to do the same in reciprocation. See, in the Chinese culture, to commemorating someone, I think planting trees is definitely something that's appropriate and something that will have very long-lasting values.
Deep down, there's that love and a concern for the motherland. We all do have. And there's an old Chinese saying says, a fallen leaf's always resting by the root. In 5 years, I'll be 72 years old. my own resolution has been that if I'm physically capable, I will continue the work. But if I'm not physically capable, I'll find somebody who might share the same passion and the vision or the willingness to want to be a volunteer for ECO. Sam's goal was very grand. Yangtze River is a big river, and to change the outlook of a river, we're talking several generations.
Oh, the Yangtze River just developed the culture of China. Our civilization is based on this, the river very much, not just in the ancient China, but also the modern, the time.
When we were kids, we didn't notice, perhaps as deeply as now, because we just assume automatically that's the way it should be.
I think we took it for granted.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's
Still too yellow.
Yeah, you see this and you say, wow, why it is like this?
Idea was really to bring to people attention. Let's do something. Because if it become to be irreversible situation, that will be too late. But my contribution is really very limited. But the idea is to bring to their attention. Hopefully, more and more people participate. That's it, yeah.
Are we able to see any difference in the Yangtze River? I would say very minimally at this time. Our strength is not quantitative. Our strength is qualitative. It is now up to the government of China to use our example, to use our demonstration as examples that this is doable and then let's duplicate. Wait! Over there, you plant a tree, you got to generate economic benefit in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, at the very, very most 5 years, because farmers will be starving to death by then. Wow! 好不好？来抱一抱好不好？拥抱一下，拥抱一下。好久不见了啊！2年没见，好不好？好。我来给你介绍。
I would look at her pretty much like my mom. I think we have improved her life through ECO's effort. And from her words, she said her old ages, she enjoyed her life much better. I would say probably the first half of her life, their only concern was purely survival. School, never mind. And the ecology, never heard of it.
衣裳裤子头还是有不下，那其实啊，这个
现在没有问题了。
肢体嘛又修复了，这个那个啥修复了，在你们服了，个啥这个在你们服了。
I can feel her heart and my heart and Larry's heart. We have done something right.
我还都在家头有吃，早课的饭还没有，回来还有早课他们饭。
When people are well fed, when people have very good salaries, very good economic, capabilities, they want to have a better quality of life, just like anybody else. And when you want a, better quality of life, and environmental concern becomes natural. So the pressure will not just come from the leaders. The pressure will come from all the people, eventually. So, remember this place, eh?
Yeah, used to be nothing.
Right. See?
Then we planted this seedling.
This is where we started, right? With the seedlings in 2001, right? And then extending 1,000 mu, right?
Yeah.
I guess we lucked out, Sam. We lucked out because, we weren't totally sure this would be a success, but I guess
You're
the last few